Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party has asked the leaders of the party from the North Central to produce the replacement of former National Chairman Iyorchia Ayu. The call was contained in a communique read by the Board of Trustees Chairman Adolphus Wabara at the end of an emergency meeting on Thursday in Abuja. The BOT urged the party from the zone to convene a meeting of stakeholders to nominate a replacement for the former national chairman. According to the Board of Trustees, the board members at the meeting thoroughly assessed the state of affairs of the party and the country. The Board of Trustees expressed deep worry over the current state of affairs in the PDP, particularly with regards to the administration of the party. The BOT demanded that the National Working Committee should immediately commence the restoration of internal harmony, unity, stability, and public confidence in the party. According to the communique, this should be done by respecting the PDP constitution and adhering to the zoning of National Working Committee offices to the various geopolitical zones of the country. The Board of Trustees expressed disappointment over the continued shifting by the National Working Committee in convening a National Executive Committee meeting. It demanded that the National Working Committee should show leadership, honor its word, and convene the next meeting as scheduled in February 2025. Honorable Akumefile,
yes.
What do you make of this story?
First, remember that the tenure of Iyorchia Ayu, if it was to run simultaneously, would end in March
2025?
Yes.
Okay.
And if a chairman is elected in the party and for whatever reason you lose your office, the law or the constitution of the political party says that your position will be zoned back to your zone where you come from.
Okay.
And the person who would take over that office will run till the time that the former person was supposed to run. And when that tenure elapses, a new Congress or convention will be held. Now, in this case now, March is just by the corner. And so if there is this call for a new person to be brought from that region, how long is the person going to stay in the office? Then if you understand what I'm saying, the person won't stay up to 2 months in office or 3 months as it were, and that tenure will conclude, will run off, and a new convention will be held in the PDP. And so this quest for new, what is it called? I think, for me, shouldn't be the reason for which they should be calling for next meeting. PDP should first and foremost put their house in order. There is a serious problem in PDP. The factions are not just two, as people see. There are too many factions in PDP today. When I mean PDP, I'm not talking about the states.
National.
The national.
Okay.
I think they should put that. Whoever is there as caretaker chairman or whatever is not important when it comes to administration. What's important is that unity, that understanding. Thank God they are calling for unity and understanding. If there is understanding, nobody will even fight. Even the demagogue who is there won't even struggle to continue to be there. First, there should be understanding. They should unite their house. Talking about congresses now or whatever, any person you bring and take it back to the zone where your child has come from will stay there till March.
Only.
And the person leaves.
And now considering
the zone that is supposed to produce the national chairman, after that zone, will begin to agitate for their own time or their own tenure. I don't know if you understand, because there is no how the next zone that will produce chairman will sit idly and say, okay, let us continue. Nobody does that in politics. If you like, fight. The moment that time when it gets to that time and the tenure expires, the next people will ask for their own time. So I think that the time is very short for anything to be done, a new Congress or a new... If Damagon want to continue...
But the next meeting has been scheduled for February 25.
Several times they fixed next meetings and it didn't hold. It didn't hold because it is politics. They are just playing politics.
You know, the last one was because of the date coincided with Ifeanyi Oba's burial. I think not Ifeanyi Oba.
Not Ifeanyi Oba.
The governor of Akwa
Ibom. Governor, no.
Yes.
The wife's burial. The wife's burial.
And there was one before that. This one that is fixed for February may not also hold until they've put their house in order. The politics in PDP is much, and nobody is in control. Everybody in PDP, all the factions, everybody is showing muscle until they look at what is happening and bring their house to order. There are some persons you cannot push away like that. That is what is happening in PDP. Every governor of Rivers State is powerful, whether I call it a small boy or an old man, because of the resources that come from Rivers State. Every governor of Rivers State is powerful. Sim is powerful. Wike, who just left office, is powerful. He's holding another powerful office. Atiku is powerful. There's strong conflict in PDP. They should put their house to order. If you don't do that, these powerful men from their own quarters will be causing this rainfall, and it continues like that.
And they will still lose out in 2027.
Definitely, they will lose out.
All right, very well. Daniel, what do you make of this story?
First, the statement from the trustees sounded like people who are not in synergy with each other. Issuing a statement.
Board of Trustee itself.
Yes, issuing a statement to the NWC. For me, I expected that whatever that has been done would have been briefed. The NSC, I mean, the NWC would have briefed the BOT. But the way they sounded was like, what is happening? Why are they not holding elections that has been postponed from August to September, from September to November, from November now to February? So they are sounding like they are not in the know. And the statement is like, why are we not holding? So they should make sure that the election for the meeting for...
They are not saying they are not in the know. They are condemning the continuous postponement of the next meeting.
That's what I'm saying, that it doesn't look joined together. If a postponement had happened, remember the last one that happened, that several governors came for a meeting that was held in Taraba State. And if a pronouncement was made after that meeting, I expected that the BOT would have been briefed. And so the BOT would have been in the know as to why election was not able to hold. But the way they are sounding is much more like they do not know the reasons why elections, the next meeting is being postponed and all of that. And see, what you see there is beyond holding that meeting. I think that the carryover of the division, not faction, disagreement of the 2023 election is still hanging on the neck. Yes, is still hanging on the neck of some other persons that, as a party, they have not been able to call all actors together and say, okay, resolve that it matter. Has not been resolved.
They have to go back to 2023.
In fact, when the last NEC meeting they had, the posers towards that thing was like it was going to be a war.
Yes.
Cameramen were there focusing on where Wike will sit.
And that
it shows to you that a party has not yet united his children who had disagreement. And everyone came. If you hear most of them, their handler, their social media handle, you're talking about Dino Melaye, who was saying certain negative things about Wike and all of that. It shows a party that has not united its own members who had disagreement, not faction. Wike doesn't have another PDP. Atiku doesn't have another PDP. Neither do others have another. It's the same PDP. But there are disagreements that led to so many divisions, whether at the federal, at the state level, and all of that. There are some persons who will tell you that Damagu is Wike's boy. That is their belief. Nothing Damagu will do that will make sense to them. And so, if the party truly want to move forward, it has to take certain decisions that will be painful, that will be hurting to others. But understandably, it has to be for the general interest. And some of us, we need to be concerned that PDP should not die. Being the main opposition party, we need them to be alive. And it is a call for them to see beyond 2027, because I tell you, the game for 2027 has started. And you have not yet united your people. You have not yet brought them to the table. You have not spoken to Wike in the language that he should understand. You have not spoken to Atiku in the language that he would understand. And you are talking about having merger and having all of that. If care is not taken, PDP will lose out. Because after next year, election has started. And you still have the hangover of 2023 still troubling you and haunting your party. And still everybody is just there.
You said after next year, election has started.
Election started. Next year
is
2025. Yes.
You start counting electioneering.
No, it starts hotly in 2026. That governance will be relegated is 2026. And you are having a main oppositions. The governors are not united. The members at the National Assembly are not united. There are factions for Wike's group, Atiku's group. That is why even, for example, the tax reform bill, PDP as a national party
has not
a position. Come on! PDP does not have a position. What you have is Atiku main statement, this main statement.
Individually.
No! You are the main opposition party. Do you support this bill? If you do not, what are the other options? What are you advising? If you were in government, what would have happened? That is what APC did before it got to power. You remember the Chibok gas issue. APC hawked it like it was something that I'm telling you, and made it look like Father in heaven. These people are failed. This is something that you just come and walk over and it's done.
Just a section of the nation.
Yes, but you need to understand the place of opposition. Yeah. And PDP is there quiet as if, so it is only when standing on the issue. No, let's have what is the position of PDP in these issues. And for us, I pray and I hope that they are able to settle themselves. It is good for us. It is good for the generations yet unborn. And it's good for the politics of Nigeria that we should never have one party state. And so, I call on them to sheathe their sword. There will always be disagreement. Right. In human interactions, there will always be disagreements.
All right.